So good evening, all of you. Welcome to today's analysis of the newspaper. Today's date is 27 July 2026. The first and most important news is that the Prime Minister of India has announced that a high-powered committee, task force basically on exams reforms, which will be basically chaired by Nandan Nilekani, will be set up. So, to give you an idea, who is Mr. Nandan Nilekani? Mr. Nandan Nilekani is the co-founder of the India's IT giant Infosys. So, along with Mr. Narayan Murthy, it was Mr. Nandan Nilekani who had founded the uh, IT company Infosys. Okay, so this is one news, and another news that we had discussed in the previous analysis also, that a bill called Public Examination Prevention of Unfair Means Amendment Bill will be brought in the Parliament. So it is believed that the bill might come today or maybe tomorrow. Okay. So we had discussed about the details of the bill, not exactly the details. Basically, the bill was seeking, number one, to increase the punishment for people engaged in paper leaks to 10 years of jail or 10 crore 10 crore rupees fine. 10 crore rupees fine. ठीक है, or both of them. ठीक है. Also, the bill was basically saying that any case which is related to paper leak shall be, the trial in those cases should be over in 5 months. So this 5 months included 2 months time for police investigation and 3 months time for trial. Okay. And also it was told that in this bill it was said that all the cases which are related to basically your paper leak will be tried in fast track courts. And for the purpose of this these type of cases, fast track courts will be set up in the high courts of Mumbai, that is Bombay High Court, Delhi High Court, Hyderabad High Court, and Bhopal High Court. Okay. So in these high courts, basically your fast track courts will be set up to basically try the cases of your neat paper leak or any paper leak in the future. So to give you more idea about this committee, which is being led by Mr. Nandan Nilekani, so who are the other members? Let's see them. So the other members of the committee, of course, one, it is chaired by Mr. Nandan Nilekani, who is the basically your co-founder and chairman of Infosys Technologies, and Mr. Nilekani was also the founding chairman of UIDAI, Universal Identification Development Authority of India, which is basically the agency behind your Aadhaar. Okay. And then another member is Mr. Amrit Lal Meena. He is a retired IAS officer of 1989 batch from Bihar cadre. ठीक है. So Mr. Meena also served as the Chief Secretary of Bihar from August 2024 to August 2025. Then we have another member. Her name is Miss Anita Karwal. Anita Karwal is she was India's Education Secretary. मतलब she was also a retired IAS officer of 1988 batch. 1988 batch. Again, a very important member is Mr. S. Somanath. So Mr. S. Somnath, he was the ex-ISRO chairperson. He was the ex-ISRO chairperson between 2022 to 2025. And we know that during his chairmanship only, the Chandrayaan 3, the Chandrayaan 3rd mission was launched successfully, where our lander landed on the surface of moon. Okay? So he is Mr. S. Somanath. Then we have Dr. V. Kamakoti. Now he is the director of IIT Madras. He is the director of IIT Madras, the role which he assumed in the year 2022. In the year 2022. So to talk about Mr. Kamakoti, he is known for leading the research team that developed India's first indigenous microprocessor, Shakti. So what is India's first indigenous microprocessor? Its name is Shakti. Okay. And this Shakti was developed by a team which was led by Dr. Kamakoti only. Then another member is Tapan Deka. Now, Mr. Tapan Deka is a 1988 batch IPS officer of Himachal cadre, and he has served as the IB chief also in the past. So these are the 6-member committee. Who are they? Mr. Nandan Nilekani, Amrit Lal Meena, IAS officer. Mr. Nandan Nilekani, he is like an IT expert, basically the founder of co-founder of your Infosys. Miss Anita Karwal, she is also retired IAS officer. Dr. S. Somanath, he is the ex-ISRO chief. Dr. V. Kamakoti, he is the current director of IIT Madras, under whom India's first indigenous microprocessor, which is called Shakti, was developed. And the last one is Mr. Tapan Deka, who is basically a retired IPS officer. So this six-member committee is being constituted to suggest reforms in the exam pattern, so that events like paper leak and all which happened should not be repeated again. And of course, we saw that a bill will also be tabled in the parliament to basically deter anyone who participate in such activity individually or via an organized crime method. Okay, so this is the first news for today. Whenever the bill is tabled, we will get the complete detail of it, and then we can have a better analysis about it. Okay, let's go to the next news. Now the next news is about GI tag. So see, Rajasthan farmers object to GI tag for Unjha Gujarat, Unjha जीरा एंड सौफ. ठीक है. सो व्हाट डज इट सेज, जीरा की खेती हम करते हैं, उंझा तो सिर्फ मंडी है. सो basically what is this GI tag basically? Okay, so first we have to know about what is this GI tag. ठीक है. So see, GI tag, what is this GI tag? So if you want to know the basic definition, so GI tag is basically a sign used in products with specific geographical origin, which possess some unique qualities or reputation due to that origin. So to make you understand better, for example, we have something called Naga chili, Naga mircha, which you say. Okay. Now this chili is famous because of its geographical origin, Naga chili. Okay. So when suppose government of India offers it a GI tag, GI stands for basically geographical indicator, geographical indication tag. GI matlab geographical indication tag. So if Naga chili is basically given GI tag, matlab then any other chili, for example, let's say chili is grown in, let's say, Karnataka, or chili grown in basically, let's say, Jammu and Kashmir, they cannot use the name Naga chili. Naga chili will basically become a copyright of the chili which is grown in Nagaland. And see, and what is the benefit of this? See, Naga chili is known for its quality. It's like all the tikkapan it has, all that taste it has, right? It is known for it. So basically, customers, just by listening the name Naga chili, they can get assured that no, this is a good quality chili. So if any other chili uses this name Naga chili, so it will be like a betrayal. Okay, so GI is basically like a copyright. It's basically like a copyright. It serves as an IPR. Now what is an IPR? IPR stands for intellectual property right. It stands for intellectual property right. Now what is intellectual property right? See, suppose let's say for example, Mr. A.R. Rahman. Let's say Mr. A.R. Rahman composed a song. Now if some other composer uses the tune composed by Mr. A.R. Rahman, so this will be called as a copyright infringement. So similar thing we see here also in case of GI tag. GI tag is nothing but like a copyright which is issued to a product which is famous or which is unique because of its geographical location. So in India, which agency basically grants GI tag? So there is a geographical indication registry. So there is a body called Geographical Indication Registry, which is a division under Ministry of Commerce. What is the name of the registry? Geographical Indication Registry, which is the body under Ministry of Commerce. Now, and department is basically Industries Department of Industrial Promotion and Internal Trade, which is your DIPIT. So within Ministry of Commerce, there is a department called Department of Industry Promotion and Internal Trade, DIPIT. Okay? And under this, there is a Geographical Indication Registry. So under Ministry of Communication, there is a department called Department of Industry Promotion and Internal Trade. And under this DIPIT, there is a GI Registry Division. Now this GI Registry Division is responsible for issuing the GI tags. And also to make sure that these GI tags are not misused. For example, if let's say Naga chili is given a GI tag, So this body, GI registry, it will make sure that no other chili in the country or no other chili in the world uses the brand name Naga chili. Uses the brand name Naga chili. Okay. So this is all about your basically. And is this governed by any law? Yes, it is governed by a law called Geographical Indication of Goods Registration Protection Act 1999. This is the main law in India that oversees the registration and protection of geographical indications. ठीक है. So if you talk about this act, so basically based on this act only, the geographical indication registry was established. The geographical indication registry was established. So now we have idea what is GI. GI, geographical indication, basically it shows what? It shows the uniqueness of any product because of its geographical location. It shows the uniqueness of any product because of its geographical location. Who issues this GI tag? It is issued by a body division called GI registry, which comes under Department of Industry Promotion and Internal Trade, which is under Ministry of Commerce. Now, having known the background of this GI tag, now let's see what the news is all about. Okay, so here say Rajasthan farmers object to GI tag for Unjha, Jeera and Sauf. See, Unjha is a place in Gujarat. And there Jeera, which is basically your cumin, and Sauf, which is basically your fennel. Okay. So it is people purchase this famous the Jeera and Sauf, basically cumin and fennel of Unjha is very famous, and recently it was given GI tag. But the farmers of Rajasthan have opposed. The farmers of Rajasthan have opposed the basically granting of GI tag to Unjha, Jeera and Sauf. Why? They are saying that this special Jeera and Sauf, it is not grown in Gujarat. It is not grown in Unjha. It is simply sold in the markets of Unjha. Basically, the farmers of Rajasthan grow this Jeera and Sauf. For example, let's say Naga chili. So it is grown in Nagaland. Let's say it is sold in Guwahati, and we start calling it Guwahati chili. So that's a similar kind of situation. The kind of feeling or the emotion which the people of Nagaland will have because of that. Similar thing we are finding here, that the farmers of Rajasthan, they are saying that this GI tag which was given to the Jeera and Sauf, basically cumin and fennel of Unjha in Gujarat, is unjustified. They are saying that these basically in Unjha, they are simply sold there, but they are they are the farmers of Rajasthan who grow these cumin and fennel in Unjha, in Rajasthan. Okay, so that's why they are objecting to granting the GI tag to them. Okay, so talking more about it. So which are the products basically? Let's understand the products from Nagaland which have received a GI tag. So one is your Naga Mircha that I told you. Naga Mircha, very famous chili, Naga chili or Naga Mircha, what you say. Okay, so this is also has your GI tag, Naga Mircha. Second product is your Chakesang shawl. It's a famous shawl found in Chakesang shawl. Okay. Third is your Naga tree tomato. Again a product having, so Naga tree tomato, it's an oval shaped tangy fruit found in Nagaland. And last is your Naga cucumber. So these are the four products of Nagaland. Which have received a GI tag. Okay, so matlab no other mircha can use the name Naga Mircha, or no such shawl can use the tag name Chakesang shawl, or similarly the case with tomato and cucumber also. So I hope you understand what basically your what is your GI tag, which body grants it, and when it comes to the state of Nagaland, which are the products which are under basically your GI tag: Naga Mircha, Chakesang shawl, Naga tree tomato and Naga cucumber. Okay. So let's go to the next news. Next news is regarding the Indus Water Treaty. Now we will understand this Indus. Just a second. Now we will try to understand what is this Indus Water Treaty and why this is in news. So Indus Water Treaty came into news last year after the Pahalgam attacks. So we know that in Pahalgam, many Indian tourists were killed by Pakistani terrorists. So as a consequence of that, government of India had suspended the Indus Water Treaty. ठीक है. So what is this Indus Water Treaty? Let's try to understand this and what is happening right now. So see, if you look at the map of India, if you excuse my bad drawing, this is Kashmir. ठीक है. And this is Pakistan like this. ठीक है. So this is your Indus River. It originates somewhere here in Tibet, and it flows into Pakistan, and ultimately near Karachi it flows into your Arabian Sea. Then there are now Indus has 5 tributaries. First tributary is your Jhelum. Then we have Chenab. They all flow to Kashmir. Then we have Chenab. Okay. Then we have something called Ravi. Then we have something called Satluj. And finally we have something called Beas. So these are the 5 tributaries of Indus. Which are those tributaries? Indus river is there, and its tributaries are your Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj, and Beas. Now, see, whenever river flows from, now Indus is an international river. It flows from India to Pakistan. So in this case, whenever river flows from one country to another country, this country will be known as the upper riparian country. It will be as upper riparian country. And in this case, Pakistan will be a lower riparian country. Okay. So the question came after India got independence in the year 1947, and a separate country called Pakistan was created. Now this is Pakistan out here. A separate country called Pakistan was created. So the question comes, how to divide the water of this Indus river and its 5 tributaries. How to divide the water between Indus and its 5 tributaries. So in order to divide this water, a treaty was brokered by the World Bank. So World Bank basically brokered a treaty between India and Pakistan in the year 1960. So a treaty brokered by World Bank signed in the city of Karachi in Pakistan. Now this treaty was called Indus Water Treaty. Now this Indus Water Treaty basically divided the water of Indus and its 5 tributaries between India and Pakistan. So what was the division? So as per the division, the waters of the first 3 rivers will be there for unrestricted use of Pakistan. Pakistan can use this water unrestricted. Matlab India cannot build any dam over these 3 rivers. And if you see, basically the Pakistani economy, the agricultural economy of Pakistan is highly dependent upon these rivers. It is highly dependent upon Indus and its tributaries. So the Indus Water Treaty of 1960 says that Pakistan will have unrestricted access of these rivers, basically Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab. So they were basically your western rivers. So 3 western rivers, Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab, Pakistan will have unrestricted access, while India will have the unrestricted access of these 3 rivers, the eastern 3 rivers, basically your Ravi, Satluj, and Beas. Okay. So this was the first term of your Indus Water Treaty. Second term, basically the second provision of this treaty is setting up of a permanent Indus Commission. So permanent Indus Commission was set up as per the provisions of Indus Water Treaty. So what was the purpose of this Indus Commission? So this commission basically acted as a mechanism for cooperation and basically information exchange between the 2 countries. regarding how much water are they using, and how much water are they using, if India is what is the water flow in the river. So all these data needs to be shared between these two countries, ठीक है. And this commission had one commissioner from both the countries, India and Pakistan. Then there was a dispute resolution mechanism was also given there. So as per the treaty, it provides for a 3-tier dispute resolution mechanism, ठीक है. So not going into detail of that, fine. Last and most important one is exchange of data. Now this is also very important. Exchange of data. What data? So it was written that both parties must indulge in monthly exchange of data on river water. मतलब how much water is flowing. So these data, so you might not understand right now, but these data are essential for basically making out any policy. So depending upon the water flow data, someone can guess that how much like whether flood is coming or drought is coming. These forecasts can be made by studying the water flow data of the rivers. Okay. So these were the terms of your Indus Water Treaty. Now, in the year 2025, last year it is, in the year 2025, in the wake of Pahalgam attack, India put the Indus Water Treaty in abeyance. India has not cancelled the treaty, but basically suspended the treaty for a while. Now, what is the meaning of India suspending the treaty? Matlab, now India basically does not accept the terms of treaty that India cannot build dam over these rivers. So that this provision now India does not accept. So by suspending the treaty, what have we done actually? Have we built the dam? No. See, it will take time to build the dam. Building dam is not a joke. You can't build a dam in a day or two. It's a long process. But for now, what India has done, India has stopped the exchange of data. India has stopped the exchange of data. Okay, India has stopped giving the data about basically your water flow in the Indus River. Now, this is also causing enough trouble in Pakistan because the Pakistani government are not able to basically understand or basically frame policy or future policy in the year which they were making or doing based on the data given by India. Okay, so this is the background of it. Now, let's see what is happening now. So we'll read the lines one by one. Now it says that Pakistan has been targeting India in recent weeks over the Indus Water Treaty, which New Delhi placed in abeyance after the Pahalgam terror attack last April. So I told you, in the wake of the Pahalgam terror attack, Pakistan put the basically treaty in abeyance. Okay? So Pakistan's Defence Minister Khwaja Asif recently said his country would not hesitate to go to war for its water security. So it's a big claim made by the Pakistani foreign minister, saying defense minister. I beg your pardon. His name is Minister Khwaja Asif. He said that if India stops the water, so Pakistan may also explore the basically path of war also. But what is India's stance? India's stance is blood and water cannot flow together. So India is saying that we have been suffering out of the hands of the Pakistani terrorists for so many years now. The Pakistani terrorists have been shedding the bloods of Indians, innocent Indians, for so many years. So the Indian government has made its point very clear that blood and water cannot flow together. Okay. Now next, what does it say? So what is Pakistan's action now? So India maintains it has honored the treaty amid wars, military crisis, terror attacks, and prolonged periods of bilateral hostility as Pakistan pursued a policy of cross-border terrorism. So what India says is that the treaty was signed in the year 1960. After that, India went to war with Pakistan in the year 1965, in the year 1971. So these two are full frontal war which took place between India and Pakistan. Then we had in the year 1999, again we have the Kargil dispute. So then in the year 2008, there was Mumbai terror attacks. So amid all these wars, terror attacks, India has been respecting or honoring the terms of your Indus Water Treaty. But now, according to New Delhi, such treaties cannot remain insulated from persistent act of hostility. What India is saying that it is too much now. We have suffered enough. We have been being patient for so many years. We have been through war, terrorist attack, everything. We have been honoring in spite of all the troubles caused by Pakistan. But now enough is enough. That is what is the stance of India. ठीक है. So India feels that Pakistan's conduct reflect a pattern of obstruction. Virtually every Indian project on the Western River, irrespective of its size, storage capacity, or technical design, has been objected to by Pakistan. See, what is the issue? See, the treaty says India cannot build a storage dam. India cannot build a storage dam. See, there are two types of dam. One is called storage dam. One is called storage dam. Other is called run of the river dam. Run of the river dam. So storage dam, it stores the water. If you suppose a river is flowing like this, and if you build a storage dam like this, so it will do what? It will basically store the water here. So basically now the water flow will basically reduce. Water flow will reduce. So this treaty basically blocks the building of storage dam. But this does not block the formation or building of run of the water dam, where the flow of water is not reduced. Where the flow of water is not reduced. For example, there is a dam called Salal Dam on the Chenab River. Salal Dam on the Chenab River. Now, Salal Dam also is a run of the river dam. It's also a run of the river dam, which basically it's not disturbing the flow of water, but still Pakistan has been objecting to it, basically delaying Indian project. Delaying Indian project. Okay. So now it says that basically, see, the Indus Water Treaty reflects the technological and hydrological realities of the late 1950s. More than 60 years later, India's population has increased sevenfold, resulting in higher demand for drinking water, irrigation, and industry and urban development needs. Okay? So basically, what India says is that when the treaty was signed in the year 1960, at that time our population was not that high as it is now. So as our population has increased, our demand for water has also increased. Our demand for water has also increased. So that's why we need more water. So that's why India is thinking about basically redoing this Indus Water Treaty. So India also faces several challenges of declining groundwater levels, particularly in Punjab and Haryana, making greater utilization of available surface water an urgent national priority. At the same time, the hydrological regime has evolved with reduced availability in the eastern rivers, while flows in the western rivers have not experienced a comparable decline. So geographically also we have seen that the eastern rivers, which is basically Ravi, Satluj and Beas, so there is a decline in the flow. There is a decline in the flow, while the flow of the western rivers, basically Indus and your Jhelum and Chenab, it has remained the same. Climate change has altered basin dynamics through greater hydrological variation, increasing the need for flood moderation, drought resilience, and storage optimization and adaptive operations. So basically, this is saying about climate change. Okay. So engineering practices have undergone a profound transformation since 1960. Modern dam safety and sustainability require low-level outlets, drawdown flushing, gated spillways, advanced sediment management, and flexible reservoir operations. These technologies were either unavailable or not widely recognized when the treaty was drafted. So it says that in the year 1960, when the treaty was drafted, at that time advanced dam making solutions were not there. But now the dam construction activity has also changed. It's very advanced compared to what used to happen in the year 1960s. Okay. So it says that India's commitment towards clean energy transition and climate goals require efficient development of hydropower infrastructure using state-of-the-art engineering practices. So again it says that, see, India needs these dams. Why? To generate hydropower electricity, because we are committed towards basically producing clean energy because of the rising climate change and global warming. So this is also our argument that we need more dams and more waters in that part of India for construction, for basically generation of hydropower electricity. Okay, na? So the Indus Water Treaty imposes extensive obligations on India's concerning project design, storage limits, spillway configuration, operational procedures, and advanced information. While Pakistan has built hydro projects on its river, it objects to similar initiatives by India. Okay. So on Chenab and all, Pakistan has built hydropower projects, but when India does so, Pakistan basically objects to it. So now basically the summary of this is that Pakistan is undergoing severe water crisis. Pakistan is undergoing severe water crisis because of India's action of suspending or putting in abeyance the Indus Water Treaty. Putting in abeyance the Indus Water Treaty. Okay. So finally, what basically the article says that what are India's option now? What are India's option now? So number one, utilizing the waters. So basically, see, so if this is your, let's say, Jammu and Kashmir, so if these are the rivers flowing like this. So if we are putting in a base, we have to build dams over it. We have to build dams over it. If we can't utilize the water, then what is the point of suspending it? So India is expediting project designed to prevent the avoidable wastage of waters allocated to it. A key priority will be to accelerated development of hydropower projects on the Chenab Basin. Think on the Chenab Basin. These are critical for India's clean energy transition, grid stability, and regional development. Okay. So we are saying that okay, if you want to put the treaty on abeyance, so start constructing dams and the projects which are still in pipeline, so kindly expedite them rather than going for new projects. The projects which are stalled for years, revive them, expedite them, and construct the dams as soon as possible. Okay. So it says that major projects under implementation include some 1856 megawatt Sawalkot hydro power project, 1000 megawatt Pakaldul project. ठीक है, 850 मेगावाट रातले प्रोजेक्ट इज ऑन किशन गंगा रिवर. ठीक है. सो दैट वे यू कैन चेक द नेम्स ऑफ अदर रिवर्स ऑल्सो. देन 540 मेगावाट कवार रिवर इज ऑल्सो देयर. इट्स अ ट्रिब्यूटरी ऑफ बेसिकली योर चेनाब. सो इट्स देयर. ओके. Rather, then it says flushing reservoirs. India will also restore the efficiency and sustainability of the existing hydropower projects through modern reservoirs and sediment management practices. Okay, so whatever dams we already have, so we have to basically we have to refurnish them, and basically we have to modify them based on the current technologies which are available, because all the dams are now old, so we have to basically reform them, and basically whatever new technologies have come, we have to implement them on those dams. Okay. So this is all this project is about. So we have already talked about the Salal hydroelectric project. This is on the river Chenab. So this is this article mainly about. So what you need to know basically, what is Indus Water Treaty. It was brokered by World Bank between India and Pakistan. Which rivers are allotted to India and which rivers are allotted to Pakistan. These are the idea which you must be having, right? Okay. So one small news or one important news is basically your flood in Assam. So we have seen that at least 66 people have lost their life within a week only because of the massive floods which have happened. Now what are the reasons behind these floods? Okay. So there are various reasons behind this flood. So various experts have given their opinion. So we'll look at them. It's a small news. So it is said that the reason is a mix of rainfall and anthropogenic factors. So of course there has been heavy rainfall in the last week. So that is one factor for sure. Then the other factor is anthropogenic factors. What is anthropogenic factors? Basically factors which are human caused. Human caused factors, human related factors. So what are the anthropogenic factors? So number one, they are saying that excessive excavation on the river valley sides, likely because of mining. So what happens? So if this is the river flowing like this, what happens? People, because of sand mining, what they do? They excavate like this. So what happens? This sand gets mixed with the water. And this water carries this sand downward like this. And what it does, it keeps on depositing this sand on the riverbed. So because of this, what happened? The riverbed, it goes higher and higher. And because of that, what happens? So whenever there is excessive rainfall, this riverbed is not able to contain the water of the river, and the water comes out and causing flood. Okay. So this would mean a large amount of mud flowing down, which reduces the river carrying capacity. Another reason they are saying is that basically deforestation is one of the several contributing factors. So cutting of trees. So what happens? If the ground is barren, the water doesn't have enough time to percolate, and it moves downhill very fast and carries a lot of silt. So suppose if there are, like, this is a downhill like this, so if there are rivers there are forests like this, so if water is flowing like this, so these trees will stop this water, or at least delay the flow of this water. But if there are no trees, this water will flow very fast, and along with it, it will carry all the silt which is there. Silt matlab the soil and all which is there, it will carry along with it. And basically causing what? Flood in the lower riparian, or the lower regions of the river. So these are the major reasons because of which the flood is happening. So in order to see, in any disaster, there are two things. One is basically your so there are two things. One is called mitigation, other is called response. Other is called response. So response is what you do when the disaster already takes place. So now that the flood has happened already, so what steps we can do to basically mitigate, we can do to basically reduce the loss of man and property. So for that, immediate support needs to be provided. Those who are stranded, they must be taken to safe places. They must be taken to safe places and all. ठीक है ना, and first aid, doctor, medical facility, everything should be provided. So this is what you can do when when the disaster has already happened. When the disaster has already happened, first is, but the better is mitigation. So what we can do so that it does not happen at all. It does not happen at all. So in this case, so all we have done is checking of mining along the riverbed, checking of mining along the checking of mining, then afforestation, afforestation. So these are some important methods by which we can we can check the flood which happens in Assam every year. ठीक है ना. So see, you cannot stop rain. Rain is about to happen, and the river, the problem with Brahmaputra is, so if this is Assam, this is Assam like this. ठीक है. So river Brahmaputra flows like this. River Brahmaputra flows like this. But the problem with river Brahmaputra is that just a second, sorry. Just a second. Okay. So this is Assam like this. So this is how Brahmaputra river flows. This is how Brahmaputra river, it enters here and it enters Bangladesh like this. Now problem in Brahmaputra is that Brahmaputra, it flows in between mountains. So on north of Brahmaputra also are mountains. On north of Brahmaputra also is mountain, and south of Brahmaputra is also mountain. South of Brahmaputra is also mountain. So the space through which Brahmaputra flows is very constricted. The space through which Brahmaputra flows is very constricted, and at times, so that's why whenever heavy rainfall takes place during the monsoon time, the water carrying capacity of the river basin of Brahmaputra is not able to accommodate all the water, and the water comes out causing flood. So it is difficult to completely mitigate flood. It is difficult to completely mitigate flood. So what we can do on our behalf is that whatever steps I have suggested here, that can be followed, and preparedness should also be there. So early warning, whenever flood is coming, so early warning should be given, so people can be taken to safe places. So that there is minimum loss of life there. Okay. So preparedness is very important. Early emergency response team and all those should be kept on standby the moment we get the information that flood is about to come, because these floods can be predicted beforehand. They can be very easily be predicted some 24-30 hours beforehand. Okay. So preparedness is very important. Second, I told you response is very important. Once the flood occurs, so what should be the response? That is also very important. So team of NDRF and SDRF, they should be kept ready. NDRF and SDRF. NDRF stands for National Disaster Response Fund, and SDRF stands for State Disaster Response Fund, Response Force. ठीक है ना? National Disaster Response Force and State Disaster Response Force. So these should be kept in standby whenever such a flood happens. Immediate response can be provided. So these are the factors. These are the way we can basically try to reduce the damage caused by these floods. Okay. So now again, one thing is there that we know that Commonwealth Games are going on in Glasgow. Commonwealth Games are going on in Glasgow. So where is Glasgow? Glasgow is in Scotland. And what is this Commonwealth game basically? So Commonwealth stands for, so basically speaking, Commonwealth means basically all the erstwhile colonies of Great Britain. All the erstwhile colonies of Great Britain, they come under the Commonwealth. So there is a Commonwealth game which happens. Okay. So this year's Commonwealth Games is being organized in Glasgow, Scotland. So India is winning many medals. But we are not discussing on day-to-day basis. So when the games are over, so we'll have a deeper analysis of the Commonwealth Games. So which athlete won the medal, gold medal, silver medal, and which sports we did better, where we could have done further good. Okay. So that we will have a detailed discussions about all the medal tally and all the medal victories of India when the Commonwealth Games are over. Okay. So that's all for today's news. Okay. Thank you very much.